I'm so excited now about doing life as I've been doing it, traveling, adventuring, moving abroad, whatever we decide to do with her, showing her the world, showing her adventures, and not like conforming to sort of the normal life. I want to do that with her. Like, we talk about homeschooling, we talk about going and living on a boat. Like, the world is our oyster, and we're going to be taking her with us on that. Hi and welcome back to my channel. We are on episode 3 now, and Gigi wants to say hi. You're in the shot. So as you can see, my pregnancy belly has definitely grown. I am 39 weeks pregnant today. So obviously the last 2 videos were filmed in the summer, and I've only really just got around to posting them, to be honest. So yeah, so I wanted to do a little update now that the summer's over and I am properly heavily pregnant. So I'm nearly 10 months. When they tell you that you're pregnant for 9 months, that is an actual scam. You're actually pregnant for 10 months. So 40 weeks, and my due date is next Friday. So I am feeling pretty big and uncomfortable right about now. But I wanted to talk about the whole pregnancy, because pregnancy is just something that I didn't know that I was gonna ever get to experience. I didn't know if I wanted to experience it. You know, I've had my sisters and my friends that have all been pregnant, but I don't think you fully understand it until you're in it. And there were definitely some anxieties and things that I have found that maybe if I touched on, somebody else going through this might not be so, I don't know, surprised by it. So this video is kind of just really going through like my pregnancy experience. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm posting this from our little cottage in Cornwall, and it's obviously Christmas time. This is actually my first ever Christmas tree, because Tate and I usually are abroad during the winter. So we are both self-employed, and we tend to go away for the winter, usually to Indonesia, and just spend a couple of months surfing. And I'm usually working because I work online. Tate is a carpenter, so he sort of works in the lead up really hard and saves money, and I just take my clients with me and work from wherever we are. So it's really strange to be in the UK at this time of year, but it's so nice. It's really cozy. We've got the fire going every night. Living in a little cottage is just, I think, perfect for this time of year. So yeah, this is our first Christmas tree, and that is baby girl's stocking with her name on. And by the time I've posted this, she's probably here and her name is out in the world. We have had her name picked from pretty much like the gender. We actually picked it for a boy because we were convinced we were having a boy. And then when we found out we were having a girl, we were like, actually, we love it for a girl. It is, I think, a unisex name. And we sort of said to each other, let's, you know, keep brainstorming names. And if anything else pops up, then great. But we just couldn't, we just fell in love with the name Ziggy. And so, yeah, her name is Ziggy. And if I'm posting this now and she's here, hi, that's so crazy. I feel really uncomfortable now, and I'm so ready for her to be here. I've had a really positive pregnancy experience. I've loved it, but it is a long time. Like, it's basically 10 months. And I'm just in awe at how much women go through this time. As somebody that has been around a lot of pregnant people, you just don't understand until you experience it. And it's every single day. It's all encompassing. It really, really is. And I posted a video about this on my Instagram because somebody had posted about how they find it really annoying when pregnancy becomes like someone's whole personality. And I've got to admit, when I wasn't pregnant, I used to probably think the same thing, but it's actually impossible for it not to be, because it affects so much of you, like mentally, emotionally, physically. Every single day you are reminded of your body changing or your mindset changing and your hormones changing. And it affects day-to-day life. Like, it affects everything from what you're eating to what you're putting on your body, like your clothes, your work, your sex life, like everything. So it's impossible not to make it all encompassing. And why should we be made to feel bad to do that? Because it's a pretty incredible experience that women go through, and it might only be the only time. And I feel really grateful and lucky that I'm even, experiencing it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about the different trimesters and all of that. So if you are pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant, or even just reminiscing about the times that you were pregnant, maybe this will resonate. So my first trimester was probably the worst I felt. I had really bad morning sickness. I found out I was pregnant when I was in Bali. It was a complete shock. We weren't planning it. And the sickness and the nausea just hit me like a ton of bricks. Obviously, it's really hot and humid in Bali. And yeah, I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't surf. I couldn't really leave the house without sweating and throwing up in cafes. So I pretty much just spent like a month just in an aircon room, which was not the plan I had for my trip to Indonesia. And then the flights home were crazy. This was off the back of a 7-month trip. So we were actually originally supposed to be coming back from the Philippines. So our flight home was actually Bali to the Philippines, and then the Philippines back to England. So we had 3 flights, and they totaled like 36 hours. We had to spend a whole night in Manila Airport. If you've been to Manila Airport, not the best airport. Nothing was really open. They didn't have anywhere where we could leave our bags or anything. So we basically, Tate basically made me a makeshift bed out of his surfboard bag and like all our blankets and sarongs. And I just slept on the floor on this, on this surfboard bag. Actually, I got quite a lot of sleep. But on the flights, I was literally just going back and forth to the toilet to throw up. So it was not pleasant. But yeah, coming home was really amazing to be able to tell our friends and family. We had a scan in Bali just before we left, even though I was really early. I think I was like 7 or 8 weeks. But I just wanted to make sure that I was definitely pregnant before I told everybody when we got home. So that was really amazing to tell everybody, and nobody was expecting it at all, because we'd also just got engaged. Like, we had got engaged 2 weeks before finding out we were pregnant. So I was actually pregnant when we got engaged, but we just didn't know. Don't do things in half measures. So yeah, people were excited to see us and to celebrate the engagement, but we obviously told them some extra news. And then yeah, we obviously came back to Cornwall. We actually couldn't move into our cottage at this time because when we left for our trip, we had no idea how long we were going to be away for. And so we put our cottage up for rent, and we had so many bookings, and it was really good money. So we decided to move in with Tate's mum, which in hindsight, well, it was a good idea because we did make some money. But by the time the end of the summer rolled round, I was so ready to be back in like my home and like make it ready for her. Luckily, my second trimester, I felt amazing. Like, I think it was about 16, 17 weeks. The nausea just literally went. One day I just woke up and didn't feel sick. And I just had so much energy. I had more energy than I did pre-pregnancy, which is crazy. And it was like peak summer in Cornwall. The weather, we had the best summer. The weather was incredible, and I was just out paddleboarding. I did a little bit of surfing until that became a little bit uncomfortable, and I just got a little bit anxious about like the bump and stuff. But like beach walks, beach days, barbecues with friends, like it was incredible, and I had so much energy. So the second trimester for me was brilliant. And then the third trimester has been okay. I say I just have got more tired and can do less, and especially the last 2-3 weeks, like I have like a heavy feeling down below, if you know, you know. So like even walks and stuff are quite uncomfortable. And especially the last 2 weeks, as I've got to the end, I'm very uncomfortable now. I've got lightning crotch. That's horrible. It's basically a sharp shooting pain down below that just catches you completely off guard. But it's as baby is progressing down and I think, I guess hitting your nerves and stuff, that's why you get it. So all in all, the pregnancy in terms of symptoms has been not too bad. Like morning sickness at the start, I've had really bad acid reflux throughout, but I got prescribed medication for that. And as soon as I started taking that, they just went. The Gaviscon did not do anything for me. I've had like a couple of headaches, but like nothing major. And the only other thing for me that's really affected me is like my bladder. Like I can't even remember the last time I didn't wake up 3-4 times in the night, and now it's like every hour. But I guess it's preparing me for newborn life. That's what everyone says anyway. So yeah, I've been really, really lucky with my pregnancy and symptoms, but the anxieties are definitely something to talk about, because firstly for me, I didn't think that I actually wanted children, and it's been something that has been on my mind for a long time. I absolutely love the life that I've created for myself. I'm very free and I can do whatever I want whenever I want. I work online for myself. If I want to go to Bali tomorrow for a month, I can do that, and I have been doing that for the last 10 years. So the thought of bringing a human into the mix for me to look after will take away part of that freedom, and that is what stopped me from doing it. I then also met Tate, and Tate is younger than me, and I think perhaps wasn't ready as well. So we were really aligned on not wanting kids and just wanting to adventure and experience the world. And we did that. Like the first year he moved into my van and we traveled all around Europe, went down to Morocco in the van, went back to Indonesia for like a few months, came back to Cornwall, then went back. Like we've been traveling and adventuring consistently for the last like 3-4 years. We did do a stint in Cornwall where we renovated this cottage, which took us about 18 months. But we still travelled in between. We went to the Dolomites, we went to Mexico. And yeah, we've just had the best time. We are very aligned. We love travel. We love adventure. So yeah, we just didn't think we were ready for adding that kind of responsibility. Then when we went away on our recent trip to the Philippines, something kind of did change in me. The thing is, like, I'm in my late 30s, so already I feel this pressure, this society pressure of like your clock's running out, and like, what if you regret not having kids? And it's really difficult, and I know a lot of people feel that, and it was definitely weighing on my mind a lot because I didn't want to make the wrong decision. But I also got to a point where I just stopped listening to the noise and just thought, if it's meant to be, it will just happen. And I'm happy either way. And that's just how I'm going to have to live my life. And so when we got pregnant, it was a complete surprise, a complete accident. And it just feels really right. But the anxieties that have come with that have been very full on, because there's like, am I ready? Like, financially, am I ready? What kind of mum am I going to be? Am I going to love her? Because I didn't really want her in the beginning, kind of. Like, all of these things go through your mind consistently throughout pregnancy. And as the pregnancy's gone on, I have definitely got way more excited about this next chapter of life. I'm so excited now about doing life as I've been doing it, traveling, adventuring, moving abroad, whatever we decide to do with her, showing her the world, showing her adventures, and not like conforming to sort of the normal life. I want to do that with her. Like, we talk about homeschooling, we talk about going and living on a boat. Like, the world is our oyster, and we're going to be taking her with us on that. And I'm really excited about that now. So that's great. But yeah, there's obviously worries. And when you're pregnant, I think your hormones and everything, your emotions are really heightened. And it's something that I have been dealing with a lot daily. So that is like a big symptom that I don't know if it's talked about a lot, but I think it's really normal. I think, especially as a first time mum. And then of course there's the anxieties of like, is baby okay? So for the first trimester, I didn't have a bump and I couldn't feel her. And you have like a scan and then you have like a huge break of like nothing. And it's like, is there anything in there? Like you start worrying about the health of the baby and like, is she okay in there? And all of that kind of stuff. And that's like daily, like a constant worry, because it's your body and you're feeling things, and if you don't start feeling things, you start worrying. A symptom that I think has been one of the biggest ones for me to deal with is more the mental side of it. Another thing that I really struggled with is that I didn't have a bump for ages, and I don't know if anybody talks about this, but I'm like quite a curvy woman, so I don't know whether is because of that, and like maybe smaller petite women show more, I'm not sure, but I just didn't have a bump for most of my first and second trimester, and I found it really difficult to dress for it. I was almost like wanting to like draw attention to my belly because I wanted people to know I was pregnant, but wasn't really showing. So that was really hard, like something that I didn't think was gonna like be a thing, but it really was. And now since my bump's kind of like bumped, I love showing it off, and bumps are just so incredibly beautiful. And the fact that there's a baby in there is just insane. Like the kicking is a really amazing sensation as well. Kind of annoying sometimes, like at the moment she's kicking a lot and it wakes me up, but it's just an incredible feeling knowing our bodies are changing and creating human life. Like, obviously everyone knows that, but when you sit and think about it, it's actually incredible. So I'm going to wrap this up anyway. So if you are pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant or thinking about going child-free or whatever, I hope that this might have helped in some way. Yeah, it's a really tricky thing for, I think, particularly women and women in their 30s who feel that pressure of the timeline. But yeah, I've just trusted that life is just gonna throw me whatever I should be doing, and yeah, here's to the next chapter of trying to live life on my terms with little Ziggy and Tate. I'll see you in the next one.